Excellent.
Clap.
Just take a...
No,
The last time
we don't do the clap.
The last time we recorded, I didn't have any problems with Zencaster, but it's doing that thing again where you've all frozen.
Oh, that's
Your
weird.
image as well.
Can you still hear us?
I can still hear you, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bandwidth? Is it your...
I mean, it's entirely possible my
To
internet
bandwidth?
is an absolute bin lid. So...
Yeah, I think there might be. I think the internet might be having a wobble in general at the moment because Stu and Darren have both gone very fuzzy for me.
Did someone Google again?
Actually, no. Stu and Darren have both gone fuzzy for me, whereas Amy and Dom are crystal clear.
I've got you all in blistering HD, and I kind of wish...
You wish
some
we
of you
were?
fuzzy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Not naming
Valid.
names.
valid point.
I'll
Valid
move
point.
away from the camera.
Oh dear.
The internet is really, really great.
It is.
Porn.
Technology in general is great when it works. The emphasis being on when it works and when it chooses to work as intended. Sorry, just having a little slip on my coffee. The coffee that may be late for the session, by the way, folks. I discovered something horrifying as I went to make my pre-game hot drink. I think some moisture or something got into my can of like coffee because it was like a brick, and I had to basically scrape it all off with a teaspoon. Wasn't fun.
I had moisture in my can once, but the doctor gave me some tablets, and
And it cleared it right up, did it, Stu?
no, sadly, I've got the operation coming up fairly soon.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise you were being serious, but there we go.
Of course I'm not.
Stu, come on now. We have previously established that I am one of the most gullible people on the planet. If you are convincing in something you say, there is a good chance that I will believe you.
You're saying I'm a terribly good actor.
Something along those lines.
I'll take it.
Actually, I think Stu is a very courageous and strong person to be able to hide his grief and anxiety and pain behind such a mask of forced jollity.
Where the
So
fuck is this
convincingly.
going?
Yeah, no, he says he's joking, but I think
There we go. Oh dear. Well, welcome back, listeners. From this very strange preamble, I'm not really sure what's going on here today.
Actually, while we're on the preamble, can I interrupt you? I have two announcements to make.
Before you do, Neil, before you make your announcements, welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom, and I am your GM for this game and for many others. And I'm joined by Stu.
Hello.
I'm joined by Neil.
Hello.
I'm joined by Darren.
Hello.
And I'm... that was a very husky, sultry hello.
Oh, you took Dom by surprise.
Hello,
He did.
Dominic.
Take him off my flow. And we are joined by Amy.
Well, hi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Apologies, Neil. Apologies for interrupting your interruption. You may now continue interrupting.
Oh, I can interrupt again. Sorry, I'd forgotten how the running order went on the formalities and
It has been a little while, hasn't it? I can understand why you forget that kind of thing.
yeah, the protocols. I've forgotten for it. But yes, I do have two announcements. First, which doesn't have any bearing on this show, but I became a grandfather again yesterday.
Yay!
My daughter Faya was born. Yeah, literally born yesterday. I expect she's at home now, and has probably come as a bit of a surprise to my grandson Odin.
So, having a grandson and a granddaughter, does that make you a great grandfather, Neil?
Well, I was pretty great anyway. Well, actually, I probably wasn't a great father, but I would try to be a great grandfather.
No, I mean, never mind.
I don't think that's quite how that works, Stu. But I
Yeah.
applaud the
Yeah.
I applaud the effort.
Actually, I'm just confused. I don't know what he was driving at.
Well, if having one
No.
grandchild makes you a grandfather, does having 2 children make you a great grandfather?
As if it's done by numbers, not by generations.
Oh, right. So if they pop out a third, it'll be a great grandfather.
Yes, that's it. Like I was going vertically instead of across the plane.
Horizontally.
But
Yeah.
it's also discriminatory because to Odin I'm just a grandfather, but to Freya I'm going to be a great grandfather. So for Odin I'm just going to be a mediocre, run-of-the-mill grandfather.
An average old grandfather.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. So that is announcement number 1. What is announcement number 2, Neil? What have you got for us?
I've got a job.
Ooh.
I've got a proper paying job that's likely to, well, let's fuck it up. It's gonna last. I auditioned for the role of Mr. Monopoly in Monopoly Life Sized on Tottenham Court Road and got the job.
Interesting.
Yay.
Is
Nice,
that
congratulations.
sounds really cool?
Yeah.
So what? I'm not. Obviously, I don't live in London. I don't really know what Monopoly Life Sized is. What can you tell us about it, Neil? What is it?
It's a huge operation. It's on Tottenham Court Road, just south of Goodge Street Station. I think it was a department store before. I don't know what it was before, but it's a big thing. It's big, right on Tottenham Court Road, the size of a department store, and people go in and they play Monopoly in teams, with human tokens, and there is a prize for the each day's winning team, top team. They get some sort of little voucher for a treat. Sorry, I should be promoting this game more. Come and play Monopoly Life Size. Come and join the fun. And
Hang on. Are they sponsoring us?
No. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
So I will be playing Mr. Monopoly. So I will come out and make the introductions, welcome everyone to Monopoly Life Size, remind them of the rules, start the game going, and then at the end of the game I come back and tot up the scores.
There we go.
Oh, wait.
So just in case you hadn't had enough of rampant unbridled capitalism, you can go and experience it in Tottenham Court Road.
Yes.
Yay!
The
You
most
can have.
right-wing capitalist person you can think of.
Yeah. Well, Monopoly, as ideologically, has been taken on by both the right and the left, hasn't it? I mean, I think it works better as a left-wing metaphor. You can say, well, this is what capitalism is like. After a few rounds of the board, one lucky player will be the one who's obviously going to win, and they'll just go around getting richer and richer and richer without half trying, and the rest of you will just go around getting poorer and poorer until
That's
you
it.
lose everything.
So, well, that is. I don't know if it's ever been explicitly stated, but that is the point of Monopoly when you think of it like that. If you've ever played a game of Monopoly with like some friends or your family or whatever, and you've been that person who's storming through the board and everyone else is going, "This isn't fair." It's like exactly, it's not supposed to be fair.
I love that feeling.
Life isn't fair, as my father used to tell me several times a day growing up. No particular reason, he'd just like burst into my room and say, "Life isn't fair," and then go again. It's pretty random.
Did he sound like Brian Blessed every time he did it?
No, that's just me.
Or was that just your dramatic interpretation?
That was my That was me. Oh, life isn't fair. Well, there you go.
And when you're at school in the playground, you can hear him, even though he's at home. You can hear his
God's
voice
alive.
echoing over the rooftops. Life isn't fair.
Well, I tell you what. There is something else that is not at all fair, and it's RPG dice, folks. Dice hate or love everybody in equal measure as ever they see fit. So with that very tenuous link, welcome back to the game, folks. It's been a little while since we were all together. How's everyone feeling about your current situation? You've escaped from the bone grinder. You found yourselves lost is a strong word, but you are underground. You don't know where you are. You don't know where you're going. How are you all feeling?
Better than I did last time.
So with that description, business as usual, really.
Yes.
Don't
But
split
we're not-
your copy over your computer, Tom.
I'm feeling pretty sick at the moment, aren't I?
That's true. Yes, Della is not feeling very well at all.
Yeah.
I think Alwyn diagnosed her as having contracted filth fever in the fight against the carrion golem that the Inquisitor had on hand. But yeah, so you've all taken shelter in a ruined building in the Undercity of Whitethrone, and some of you potentially might be having less peaceful night's sleep than others. What's going through Alwyn's mind at the moment?
He's ready to ask for an autograph. I'm excited. So he's gone to sleep, and it's the whole place has metamorphosed into this pub, basically, full of lots of patrons, and there's one in particular who's greeted him.
Indeed, he has.
I'm so excited.
And we will find out in just a moment exactly who that individual may or may not be. But how are Otto and Amos feeling, and Della as well? You've you've escaped from the Bone Grinder. You've escaped Lord of Gorin's clutches for the time being, and you've done some good along the way. You've rescued a number of incarcerated individuals, shall we say?
It feels good to do good sometimes.
Yeah. It also benefited us, though, so that was also good. We got out.
We got out, yes. I didn't expect us
Yes.
to get out. I thought that was it. I thought we were done for.
Go. Well, there is still time. There is always time. So, shall we find out if that time is today, folks?
Yeah.
Let's.
All right. Okay. So, in that case, as we bring ourselves back in, Alwyn, sort of not long after you've gone to sleep, as you know, as mentioned a second ago, your kind of dream vision, your dream world has metamorphosed into this bustling tavern. You can hear music being played. You can hear the roar of thunderous laughter coming from many of these tables around you. The smell of roasted meats and cold ales sort of waft across your nose. And as you materialize, as this room materializes around you, you see at the head of one of these massive long drinking tables, you can see the tall stature, seemingly human, sort of very well built, chiseled jaw and swapped back hair, with a rapier at his side, and just kind of standing with one boot up on the bench and a tankard of ale sort of swinging from his grasp as he takes a swig every now and then. He looks over at you, Alwyn, and he sees you, and he calls out over to you. Here he is, man of the hour. Alwyn, come join us.
Well, Alwyn thinks he recognises who this is and goes all anime for a moment as his eyes widen and start sparkling. And yes, he'll walk over and take a knee and say, "My lord."
Lord, there's no lords among here. There's no lords among heroes, Alwyn. Up you get. Take a seat with us. And he gestures, and you see that there is a space that has seemingly been left clear for you.
Take it. Absolutely starstruck at the moment.
Yeah.
Not too starstruck to embarrass us all with your...
You're not there.
Otto's.
If we were
Otto,
there...
You hear Otto say in your mind's eye.
I know he's embarrassing himself somewhere.
So, Alwyn, I've been watching your recent escapades, And I must say, that's a hell of an adventure you've just been on. Come on, we're all in need of a good story. Why don't you tell us a bit about what happened?
Right. Yes,
Long story short.
Which one would you like to hear? There's
Why
been so
the most-
many.
The most recent, of course, your daring escape from the prison beneath the ice.
Oh my goodness, yes. So we were all captured, me and my friends and the people we were sent to rescue and some other people. And yes, we battled guards aplenty that outnumbered us some number to one.
20 to 1, folks. 20 to 1. Did you hear that? Alwyn and his friends fought off a force of 20 to 1 their size. How heroic.
I never said 20 to 1. I know it was just more than us. Might have been 2 to 1. But anyway, yes.
So 20's got 2 in it. That's close enough for me.
Okay. So we fought and Chardonnay. I mean, Chardonnay's been absolutely brilliant. I have to say thank you for Chardonnay. Chardonnay's absolutely. Look around. Is Chardonnay there?
Chardonnay's not there, no.
Right, okay. But yes, Chardonnay's been absolutely amazing, so thank you there. And yes, and of course, and thanks to your grace, I helped heal friends and keep people fighting, and yes, and we managed to we liberated some poor souls who were quite badly traumatized and being experimented on. It seemed some evil works going on. And yes, and after that, we managed to solve this puzzle, all to do with coins and moons and stars and things. I don't know. And yes, we're now now we got out of there, and now we're lost.
Yes, well, sometimes it takes being lost to find who you truly are, Alwyn. What a story that was. I mean, I've been watching it for myself, but for my brothers and sisters here who haven't seen it, what did you all think, lads and lasses? And you've like the whole time you've been telling this story, the table has been quiet. They've been listening to you. When you've mentioned about fighting off these massive waves of enemies, they've cheered at your triumphs. They've booed and hissed as you've mentioned about this strange individual enslaving people and experimenting on them. It's almost a panto crowd for like a real world reference.
Okay,
they're very boisterous. They're very invested in what you're saying. They cheer in all the right places. They boo and they hiss. There is a hushed silence as you describe some of your exploits. And eventually, as this figure at the head of a table sort of asks them what they think, you hear the rattle as flagons are banged against the wood, and an almighty cheer goes up from the table. And you see they all lift their flagons up high, and you see the handsome individual at the head of the table also does the same. Well, I think that's worthy a toast if ever anything was one. To you, Alwyn, the liberator of the day. And he lifts his flagon high and he takes a big gulp of his drink.
Very, very. I couldn't be more honoured.
Aye, well,
my God, in more ways than one. I mean, you know.
The mood kind of settles down a little bit. You see the rest of these individuals who all look like sort of powerful warriors or adventurers in their own right. Once you've told your story, you see the figure at the head of the table. He kind of waves them to go about their own business, and you see they kind of start dropping back into their own conversations. You see two dwarven individuals down the far end of the table start having an arm wrestle on the end of the table, and the figure at the head of the table, who I think you figured out who it is by this point. Caden Kellian himself. He leans over to you, Alwyn, and he says, Alwyn, I'm sure you're probably aware I brought you here for a reason.
I was going to ask, am I dead?
Dead? No, lad. Far from it.
Oh, that's a relief.
This is just, like I said, I've been watching you for a little while. When mortals use my power and do deeds in my name, I take some notice of that. And I've been watching what you've been up to for some time, and well, I thought I'd just check in with you. Like I say, was a fantastic heroic thing you've just done. Getting those individuals out and not condemning them to a life of torture or slavery or whatever that Inquisitor had planned for them. That's commendable, Alwyn. That's a true exemplar of what I strive for. And I also wanted to congratulate you on something else.
You're pregnant. Congratulations.
On making the right decision.
The right...
Aye. Perhaps this is something you don't realize you've done, but after you'd finished your battle with all those guardsmen, and you were concerned for the beating that Chardonnay had taken, there was a moment there where I thought you were going to do something displeasing. Am I wrong? Thoughts of torture, of murder?
I'll be honest, yes, that was my impulse. That was... I love Chardonnay. Chardonnay means the world to me, and I know Chardonnay joins me in battle, and we're going to get scrapes and bruises and and what have you. But Chardonnay was so badly hurt, and it affected me. It bothered me. I don't know how much you know about my history before coming into your service, but I've
know enough.
Lost friends
I know enough
before, and yes, it sort of brought a lot of that trauma back. So yes, that was my impulse, but we're not animals, are we? We try and overcome our impulses.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at, and I wanted to congratulate you for doing so. Because in that moment, Alwyn, when your eyes were blinded by rage and there was nothing on your mind but vengeance, you rejected that. You pushed past it, you saw the right path, and you took it. And all I can say is, I hope you continue to take it. Because whilst your concern for your companions and for Chardonnay in particular is commendable, and as I know enough of your past that I know what my gifts mean to you. But if you ever do pursue vengeance that blindly, not even Calistria will answer your prayers.
I understand. Thank you for everything.
You're most welcome, Alwyn. And I'm sure this is just the beginning. I'm sure tonight's story was just the first of many.
Do you know, as lovely as that sounds in certain ways, a quiet life would also be quite appealing,
Who needs a quiet life when you've got good friends and strong drink around you?
Oh, I'll drink to that, and Alvin will pick up, assuming there's a tankard going spare.
Oh yeah, there is. You were given a tankard, regardless of the fact that your Neverending Stein is somewhere on your belt. Kind of as soon as you arrived here, you had like a flagon of ale thrust into your hand, along with like a plate of roasted pork, that kind of thing.
Caden, may I call you Caden? Is that okay?
Of course you may. That's my name, isn't it?
Yes. Well, Caden, I've just realised my never-ending stein is here. I wonder if I could ask a favour of you.
What's that?
Could you sign it? I've got a Sharpie around here somewhere. By Sharpie, I mean a sharp implement that you can etch your name into it.
Alwyn, you are a funny fella. That's very amusing of you. If you look closely, you'll see I already have. And as you look at the stein, you see that there is and you hadn't noticed this before, but on the bottom of the tankard, there is a symbol of Caden Kalian, around which the words "To Alwyn, stay free" are etched.
Oh, see, that's godlike power. That is. That's impressive.
Well, you know what? When if you ever feel like joining me, just get yourself nice and tanked and go touch that Starstone, eh? What worked out fine for me.
Do you know what? I might try that. What's the worst that could happen, eh? Oh no, hang on, I know that one.
I mean, do you want me to answer that, or was it rhetorical?
Well, I think I know what happens, but no, you can tell me just to be on the safe side.
Well, to put it mildly, you'd cease to exist if it all went wrong. If the Starstone didn't think you were worthy, you'd be nothing but dust on the wind.
Yes. Well, maybe I'll have a think.
All right. Well, it's coming up to morning, Alwyn. You've got a lost underground metropolis to escape from, and I'll be watching you the whole way. Come back and share another story sometime, eh?
I'd love to. Do you have any advice for what's coming up?
Follow your nose, Alwyn. It won't lead you wrong. I think you've got a sense for. I think you've got a sense for adventure. It'll do you good to listen to it.
Thank you. Alwyn will put out his hand to shake Caden's.
He stands up as you do this, sort of, and you see the whole table kind of stands with him. Almost by some kind of compulsion or peer pressure, you feel the need to do the same, and you do so. And as you do so, he offers his arm towards you, and he clasps you in a firm Beastmaster handshake on the forearms.
I'll match it.
Yeah. Okay, and then as he clasps your hand, there is another cheer from the table. You hear sort of glasses being clinked together, ales being drunk, and there is one last memory as the tavern begins to kind of fade and dissolve around you. You see Caden Kalian once again lifts his flagon up in your direction, gives you a wink, and takes a hearty gulp from it as the dream fades away. There you go, and you awaken the next morning, feeling the best perhaps that you felt in a very long time. Obviously, Alwyn tends to drink sort of quite constantly. This morning, Alwyn, you wake up with none of the usual kind of fuzzy brain associated with a hangover. You awaken sharp, fully refreshed, and ready to get on with your day.
You mean sober?
Pith and vinegar.
Meanwhile, if you want, as you kind of wake up, you sort of see that the rest of your group are are there, perhaps a little starting to rouse themselves. But whilst all of that was going on with Alwyn, Della Thornbury, as you drift off to sleep. Apologies to Darren and Neil. This might be quite light for you guys, just because there's a lot of character stuff I want to get through today for a couple of people. So Della, as you drift off to sleep, sort of sweating and shivering from the illness running through your body, and it takes you a while to get to sleep, just because you're feeling so unwell. But eventually, you do manage to drift off. You do manage to kind of come back into yourself, shut out the sickness from your head for long enough that you drift off to not necessarily a deep, peaceful sleep, but certainly a sleep. Mm-hmm. And as you do so, you also drift in darkness for some time. And as you're kind of floating there, your consciousness is kind of drifting and floating and slowly coming to itself. You become aware of your body drifting in the darkness. And as you're drifting, you feel a chill on your skin, like a cold breeze blowing through the trees. And as you look, Della, you start to focus, and coming into shape around you, you can see the white of snow on the ground. You see tall trees, oak trees, maple trees, very sort of what's the word? Temperate trees from kind of from potentially a warmer climate, sort of coming into view. You find yourself in a clearing, in a forest that is unfamiliar to you. A forest far away from here, in some place that you've never seen. You can see that there are a number of what look to be small canvas structures, perhaps tents or something, that have been raised around this clearing. And as you look over to the north, you can see that there is a ring of icicles sort of stretching up towards the sky, and beyond which there is a swirling mass of mist and freezing air that looks very, very similar to the portal that you had helped to close outside of Riddleport. Mm-hmm. But this is not that same place. You look around, as you recognise this magic in front of you, you look around expecting to see the bodies of your companions, your adventuring group. And as you do so, you instead see... You do see two bodies, but they are not those of your friends. The first is of a massive creature, similar in size and stature to the trolls that you've seen walking around Whitethrone, decked out in Winterguard armour. But this one is not decked in any kind of armour. They appear to have fungus running across their head and down their back. They are sort of burned and scarred and cut to pieces. You can see the blood has kind of dried on the snow and become brittle. And beyond this troll's body, you see lying in the snow, still just about breathing. You can see a bit of breath in this individual's body. You see the black armored figure of an old man. His head is bald. He has a shaggy and unkempt beard of white that kind of curls a little way off his chin. And just as you're looking at this individual on the ground, you look over to this swirling mist of ice and snow that you recognise as a portal, and you see three shapes, the shadow of three shapes stepping through it. And as you see those figures stepping through it, the individual on the ground, you hear a gurgle come from his direction. Della Thornbury. I've been waiting some time for you. Please, Come closer.
Well, I'll immediately rush over and see what the thing is.
Yes, as you get closer to this individual in this black armor, and it's sort of a thick plate mail armor, as if he was perhaps once a knight of some kind. There is no horse in sight, but you can see this individual's skin certainly appears to be a human male of very advanced age. You see his forehead is crossed with wrinkles. His skin is sagged and loose. And as mentioned, his head is bald, but he has this scruff of a white beard kind of curling off of his face. And you kind of look and you see that there is a pool of blood spreading out from where his neck is. And you look a bit closer and you see that his throat appears to have been cut.
I probably shouldn't be talking then.
And that's the strange thing. Although he perhaps shouldn't be talking, he seems to be talking as if there is nothing wrong. Della Thornbury, I've been watching you for some time. My name is Ilvarian Matavius. Or at least, that was my name when I was human. Now, I am known as Black Midnight. I am Baba Yaga's Black Rider, the harbinger of the Witch Queen's return.
Cool.
And he looks at you, waiting for you to say something.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
And you. I've been watching you for some time. You travel with friends of mine. He looks at you once again. Although he is talking easily enough, you can see that there is a weakness there, and he looks at you almost expectantly. Perhaps expecting you to ask a question of some kind.
Okay. Is there a right question to ask?
I mean, what would Della's reaction be to seeing this man bleeding out on the snow? What's the first thing she would ask?
Rummage through his pockets. No. I don't know. I don't know the weight of the information that I'm being given. It sounds relatively important, but I'm a bit thick, so I've got no intelligence.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, as you kind of stand there in silence for a second, he looks at you again, and almost in a prompting manner, he says, "I can see you look at me blankly, Della. That is understandable. Tell me, the 3 companions you travel with, what do you know of their mission?"
Oh, something about saving the world.
Have they not been at all more specific with you?
I mean, there was something about a doll.
A doll, yes. One of Elvana's guardians set to this place to watch for people such as your friends. But you are correct. They are working on my behalf to, I suppose, save the world is the ultimate goal they are working towards. But in doing so, in order to do so, they are seeking to free Baba Yaga from the trap that Elvana, her daughter, had placed.
Yes, I've heard those words before.
I have been trying to reach you, but my power is much weaker than it was. Your companions, do you share their goals? Do you wish to travel with them and be beholden to the same quest they are undertaking? I have granted them power that I can grant to you as well, if you wish it.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a good deal. Sure.
Well then, if there are no other questions you may have, then that is simple. Then that is nice and simple. Come. If you approach my body, you will find a dagger lodged in my neck. Use it to cut my throat once again. By bathing your hands in my life's blood, I will transfer the same power and the same responsibility to you as I've transferred to your friends.
That's a bit gruesome.
It is the only way.
Okay then. Do I know that I'm dreaming?
I think it's safe to say you probably do.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll do this with full gusto.
Okay, fair enough. Della don't give a fuck when she's asleep.
No, doesn't count.
All right, okay. So you step up to this individual in the black plate armor, Della, and you quickly find this dagger that he mentioned. It's quite a pretty looking dagger. It has a blade that is made of a metal you don't recognise. It looks a lot like kind of regular steel, but it has a faint bluish tinge to it that you've never seen before. And as you step up to him and you clasp it, he looks at you in the eye, Della, and just with a faint nod of acceptance from him, you quickly draw the blade across his throat, and you feel blood spill onto your hands as you do so. And as this blood spills onto your hands, Della, you feel a surge of strength in your body, and as this strength continues moving through you, the vision unravels around you in some way. It starts to fade. The last thing you see is the face of Ilvarian Matavius looking at you once again as the light begins to fade from his eyes, and he says to you, "That blade will guide you. You may call on me a small number of times if you need it." And the dream ends, and you drift off back to sleep. And when you awaken in the morning, Della, you notice two things. The first is that sort of tucked into a sheath on your waist, there is a blade that was not there before.
Ooh.
And you draw it, and you notice that it is the same blade that you used to cut Matavius's throat with.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing that you notice is that feeling of strength, that surge of power within you, that has persisted. You may permanently increase any one of your stats by 2. You get a free ability boost.
Is that in ability scores?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it gave me some strength. I'll have some more strength.
Okay. As for the dagger, I don't have like an item or anything for it, but if you just make a note that you have a +1 cold iron dagger, Della.
Okay.
And you also know you're not sure how you know this, but you know that by using this dagger as a focus, you can basically ask Matavius up to 3 questions about Baba Yaga or the mission that you're on, and he will give you an answer to the best of his knowledge. But you get 3 questions, and once those are gone, that is it.
Okay.
But yeah, you awaken, and as you awaken, Della, the rest of you begin to come to as well.
How are we all feeling? No attacks during the night?
Don't think so.
I feel marvellous.
Good. Alwyn, just as he's doing his preparations for the day, he's going to surreptitiously have a look underneath the stein to see if the writing's still there.
It's still there.
Oh. Right, put that away. Right, Della. I'm going to suggest maybe we stay here for the day. Della, I'll treat you as best I can. Try and get this sickness out of you. And, yes, well, what does everyone else think? Amos?
What about staying here?
Yeah, stay here for the day, and then I can try and treat Della. Get this sickness out.
Before you answer that question, Darren, whilst you were on watch last night, it happened around the middle of your watch, so sort of the really small hours of what you assume to be the morning. You just happened to be glancing out of one of the windows, and there was a glimmer of light being cast from somewhere underground that washed across a large, shadowy figure that seemed to be looking in the direction of your building. And the biggest thing you remember is a pair of vibrant, sickly yellow eyes gleaming at you out of the darkness. As you stiffened to kind of start preparing for combat or waking your friends, you blinked, and whatever this creature was gone.
Okay. So, before we make any decisions, there was something I saw. A creature with glowing eyes. It disappeared. I couldn't make out what it was. All I saw was its eyes.
Oh yeah, this thing was big. You, in game terms, you would probably say it was a large creature.
But it didn't come in. It didn't.
It was there and gone in the blink of an eye.
Is it possible you dreamt it?
No.
I had a
there's
brilliant
weird
dream.
dreams.
You had a weird dream. I had a brilliant dream.
Oh, mine was a strange dream. I somehow got this, and then I'll show off the dagger. And then I'll explain what happened.
You got a dagger.
It's like some guy with his throat slit. It's like, bathe your hands in my blood. It's very strange.
So the same as what we told you about the Black Rider, then?
Nah.
Happened with us.
You bathed your hands in his blood.
Well, yes, and we also had to bathe these items to put in the cauldron to save the world.
Did you tell me this?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, you should have said it more than once.
It was maybe 20 episodes ago. I wouldn't worry about it.
It would have been a long time ago if they did say anything.
It was a long time ago. Yeah.
Ah, well.
Still, it's not the kind of thing you forget, really.
Well, I won't now, no.
I don't know. We've had quite a hectic time of it. Okay, well, what do you think, Otto? Stay or go, or...?
I am concerned about pursuit. Whether we need to be further away. Whether
But we don't know where we're going.
we don't know where we're going, no. But we're going away from where we came from. Well, do we have an escape route? If someone pursues us, is there another way out of here? I think, well, we can stay, but I think we need to know what our options are.
I think we can barricade with this building. That's about it, really. But well, look, I'll tell you what. Let's keep going then. But if Della and I go sort of in the middle, I can try and help Della as we go. I mean, it's going to take quite a few hours. 8 hours. Treat wounds is what I'm thinking, Dom.
You mean treat disease?
Treat disease, sorry, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so it is 8 hours to do that. If you wanted to, I mean, you tell me what you want to do. Do you want to hole up here for 8 hours?
We're quite close to where they're going to come in here, aren't we?
Yes, you haven't moved very far from where you came down into the Undercity. What I will say is you did make a very good job of disguising your tracks.
I feel that in the state that I'm in, I don't really feel like moving, and I'm quite confident in what we did in getting up here to stay. I think that would be more sensible.
I think we're in a fortifiable position. That's how I feel. So that's 2 votes for staying.
Yeah.
Otto?
Well, I'll go along with it, but I want to spend some time looking for a back way out, for an escape route.
Okay, that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. But that's 3 votes for staying then. Amos?
Yes, let's stay.
For Christian, I suppose it's a bit redundant at this point.
It is. I mean, I know nothing about what's down here except it's a real dangerous place. There's all sorts of shit living down here. In terms of a way out, I don't know one, so I am either I go it alone, which I don't think would be conducive to my continued good health, or I stick with you and we get out together.
I think it being a dangerous place, we need the whole party to be at full fighting force.
Wait a minute, all these people we rescued, are they capable of fighting? If not, we should just send them out.
No, they'll die if we send them out.
Yeah,
escort them out.
Yeah, these 8 individuals that you rescued from the Inquisitor's laboratory, I guess, they're basically catatonic. They walk when given any kind of impulse. Otherwise they are quiet. They are still. There's nothing there to them.
They wouldn't even defend themselves if they
No.
were
I feel a bit bad about putting them out.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'm putting my foot down on that one. Yes.
Well, they wouldn't go without an escort, obviously.
No. It sounds like we've decided then. Okay. Otto, do you want to see what you can find about a back way out?
Yes, I will do that.
Amos, maybe you and Christian can keep a good watch out for
We can do that.
anything, any creatures or people or anything like that. I'll treat Della.
Yes, please.
You see, as you're saying this, Clovis and Maori both pipe up. So Maori says, "Well, all right then. I must confess, I don't want to be down here any longer than we have to. But if it means getting you well enough to continue and to fight, Della, then let's do it. I can take some care of my sister. I can do what I can for Trey and these other folks here. Clovis, why don't you accompany Otto so he's not on his own? That sounds like a wonderful idea. What do you reckon, Otto?
Who are you asking, and what are you asking?
I'm asking if you want me to come with you, so you're not out scouting on your own.
Yes, come with me. I don't want to be on my own.
Dangerous place down here. So yeah, let's go on a little scouting mission, Otto.
Let's do that.
All right, okay. So Christian and Amos are sort of staying back to keep watch. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. Alwyn is spending at least 8 hours treating Della for disease.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll that medicine check for me, Alwyn.
Make it a good one.
I will do my best. Oh, fuck.
This doesn't sound good.
It's an 8 on the dice for 21.
Okay.
Could be worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
That
Could be
have
better
been.
too.
The 18 it almost was would have been a lot better.
Oh yeah, that would have been good.
Treat
So-
disease.
So this is against the DC of the disease. If it is a success, Della gets a +2 to her next saving throw. If it's a critical success, she gets +4. Let's hope it's not a
Okay.
critical failure. That's all I'm saying.
if a 21's a critical failure, you guys were in trouble.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. So actually, Alwyn, what was the total there?
21.
21. So you spend some time sort of working on Della, sort of just trying to keep her temperature down, all that sort of thing, encouraging her to eat and drink, little and often as she's able, just to kind of keep her strength up as much as she can. Actually, by the time the 8 hours kind of rolls around, Della seems to be improving. I can tell you, Alwyn, 21 was just a success.
Ooh.
So, Della, you will get +2 to your next save against that disease.
Okie dokie.
Does it happen? What conditions have you currently got, Della?
Sickened one.
Sickened one. Nothing else?
I think it's just that.
Okay.
That's all I've got written down.
Perfect. In that case, I think you're on stage 2. This disease.
Oh no.
All right. Okay. So, in that case, yeah, it's going to be a few hours yet before we have to make a save.
Cool.
In the meantime, so Amos and Christian, you guys are you're keeping watch. Is there anything else you want to be doing in that time?
No, I'm all at full health, so just keeping watch.
All right. Okay. In which case, we'll move around to Clovis and Otto. So, as Otto, as you step out of this residential building that you had kind of holed yourself up in, you kind of step out onto the street. You don't see any signs of a search party having come past this way. There are no fresh footprints in the dust. All the tracks that Della had cleared the night before are, they remain cleared. You kind of see that from where you are there. There's almost like a T-junction of paths you and Clovis can take. Would you like to travel left, centre, or right?
Centre. Let us go centre.
Centre, okay. And how far are you willing? Are you looking to travel? How long are the two of you going to be travelling out together?
I think we should just keep walking until we can see some sign of a way to above ground.
All right, okay.
That's what we're looking for, so we'll just keep going until we either reach a dead end or we...
Okay, so give me a number of hours that you want to try.
It's not a number of hours. I think we should just keep going until we either come to a dead end or we find a way out.
All right, okay. Sure.
We never see Otto again.
Well,
You joke.
Let us say... Well, if it's going to take 8 hours to treat Della, I think we should walk for at least 4.
You want to search for 4 hours, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So as you kind of take the street that is directly ahead of you, Otto, and you and Clovis are both kind of proceeding cautiously down the centre of this thoroughfare. You're passing ruined buildings on the left and the right. You see what were once houses, what were once shops or marketplaces, that kind of thing. And I should stress it's not a dead straight. It's not a dead straight line, but you continue kind of weaving through this ruined cityscape. Could you roll a d10 for me, please, Otto? Let's see what you find.
I've been using my my Path Builder 2E so that I can find a d10, an actual dice.
Sponsor us, Path Builder.
So what was the result?
80.
80. So 8. Okay.
8.
All right. Okay. So Otto, as you and Clovis are progressing through this ruined cityscape, it takes having to weave your way through the buildings, and sort of being quite cautious and all that sort of thing. It takes you a little while. And after your first hour of travel, can I also have a perception check, please?
Perception check. Yes, you can. Is that a...
It's a D20 plus your perception.
Got it. Perception... 25.
25, okay. So just as you come up to what looks to be another intersection of sorts, you hear the sound coming from your right-hand side of very heavily armoured boots marching or perhaps running in the direction, almost in your direction. What do you do?
Coming at us at directly from our right and from...
Yeah, so you're coming towards an intersection ahead of you. You can hear these armoured boots clonking on the stone, quite noisily. Really not making any attempt at being quiet. You can hear these boots clonking on stone, and it sounds like there's a lot of them. Just by listening, you don't know how many there are, but there certainly sounds to be a few. What do you do?
I think we should hide and watch what goes past.
All right. Okay. So Otto, if I could have a stealth check, please.
Stealth. 24.
24. Roll for Clovis. Okay. Let's see. This. Okay, so as you hear these boots clonking on your right-hand side, Clovis hears it as well, and the two of you both kind of glance around for somewhere to hide. You can see that there is a ruined building. The top half of it has completely collapsed, but there is. The door itself has been shattered open from the inside, and you can see that there is a small window where you can tuck yourselves just into the rubble of this building, and the two of you do so. And just as you're squeezing into this ruined building with just as the two of you are squeezing into this ruined building, you just about get yourselves in and get yourselves settled when you hear the clonking of these boots sort of get much closer and appearing around the corner. You can just make out from your hiding place. You can make out a group of what look to be at least 6 skeletal warriors, all dressed in sort of thick plate armor. They carry shields emblazoned with a symbol of some strange land that you've never seen before. And in in their right hands they carry longswords, all of which are drawn. And as you kind of tuck yourselves away, you can hear that these skeletons are chattering to each other in common, and you can hear them saying things like, they're pushing on the east wall. We must reinforce the granaries there, or we're going to lose that sector. Sergeant, I need a report. Tell me the strength of the enemy forces. And they continue rattling off various bits of military information, sort of mentioning names that mean nothing to you. But just as they're clearing this intersection, you see where Clovis has kind of hidden himself, there is a section of loose rubble, and just as their clomping kind of moves past, the vibration is enough to shake some of this rock loose, and it tumbles down with a clatter in the darkness. And as this stone clatters to the street, you see one of these skeletons kind of looks up and looks around. Sergeant, I think there's something here. And that's where we are going to end for tonight, folks.
Oh, no.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Feagle Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com, editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
Just roll a natural one on his
He
stealth.
didn't, but he didn't roll great. He didn't roll great.
Oh, but it's Clovis. He's the best thing since sliced bread.
Best thing since Hovis.
Well, that was an adventure, wasn't it?
That was.
I would be curious to know how many episodes we end in like a ooh, and then how many we're like, yay.
Well, it should be a cliffhanger, shouldn't it?
Yeah, gotta keep it interesting, make people want to come back.
Yes.
Yeah. But not, it's always a bad one.
No. The last one that we did, 106,
That was a
a
good one.
cliffhanger.
I'm sick.
Yeah, but Alwyn met Caden Kalian, so that's good. That's what
Good
we
for
ended
you.
on. That's what we ended
Yeah.
on. That was a positive. Yeah, sometimes they're positive ones.
Yeah, that's the saying. It'd be interesting to know.
That's it.
Oh,
So,
there's far
perhaps-
more.
Perhaps next week Otto's going to learn exactly why you never split the party.
Oh.
I can't wait.
Oh. I will. I'm in bed. It's fine.